everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn. I hope you guys are doing well and that you're staying healthy with all the stuff going on. Today I wanted to talk to you about the new moon from the aspect of your personal finances. I know that you're probably interested in lots of other things, but this is personal finance astrology is something that I specialize in, so I'm going to limit my focus to that area. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up if you like this sort of video, and let's get started. All right, so this is the chart for the new moon. This is going to be March 24th, and as we see, really jumps out at us is this conjunction here. Of course, it's a conjunction, duh, it's the new moon. So, but it's at 4 degrees of Aries, and we remember that last December we had the eclipse hit at 4 degrees of Capricorn. I'm saying Capricorn. Let me just check that really quick because, you know, that's, yes, it was 4 degrees of Capricorn, 7 minutes. This is 4 degrees Aries, 12 minutes. Super close. Now, this eclipse has already obviously been activated. We can tell by so much going on in the world, but there is something that is happening at this time that is really taking this energy of the eclipse, which eclipse energy is, you know, where you go through a doorway, everything's different in your life, and you cannot go back. There's something that is stopping you from going back. And so we have that very clearly with this new moon. So now, how precise that is a question. Whether we're already feeling it, I would say that we are for sure. But if there's going to be additional changes, that's quite possible. That what we're experiencing on the 24th and going forward is that activation eclipse energy. Okay, so when we're looking at finances, this is, of course, we're going to go sun sign by sun sign, but if you know your moon sign or you know your ascendant, you can follow along on those signs as well, because you are going to experience some of this from that perspective as well. And of course, if you know your chart completely, then you will be able to pick up much more as I talk about this. If you do not know your chart and you're having trouble finding a copy of your chart, send me an email. My email address is down in the description box below. I need your date of birth, time of birth, and your place of birth, and then I can send you a copy of your chart. For Aries, what we're looking at, of course, this is the Aries new moon. That means that this is the most significant month you're going to have for the year. And so that means you have lots and lots of business opportunities and opportunities to make money. What we see here in your second house is, of course, we've got Uranus there. Uranus is going to be there for a long time. So this does say that looking for alternative sources of income, different streams of income, looking for ways to automate and create passive income sources is extremely good for you. But now we currently have the Venus going through there also, which indicates that you are interested in spending some money, or you have a desire to spend money to create either more comfort in your life because it's Taurus, or to add to some, to give you some equipment to support your business. So, but you are looking at things that are a little bit more higher end because Venus in Taurus does like the good stuff. And so looking at, be aware that there could be a lot of spending of money. When we check out your money derived from business or passive sources of income, we have Scorpio here, which is ruled by both Pluto and Mars, which are making a conjunction in your 10th house. Those of you who are in business, you guys can do really well during this month period. There are some activities you can do. I mean, this is Pluto conjunct Mars, so you have your two powerhouse planets focused on one goal. And so we see a very strong opportunity for you to make money. In addition, It is making a trine to the Venus, the ruler of the second house. So we see your ability to accumulate income from passive income sources, and also from your own business and from your spouse's business, or whatever that person does. That is very strong this month also. When we look at money derived from career, and it's a little hard to see here, but what we have is Saturn has gone into Aquarius. And so if you make your money through an employer, there could be some delays. It's perhaps that you've gotten a new job and you're waiting for your first paycheck, or there are some other issues that are causing other issues, like I'm hinting about what's going on in the world. So, but there's some other issues that are causing things to cause some delays. However, the Saturn says that you're continuing to work, you're continuing to focus on getting the money, and so as you do, that the money will come in. So it's like you're getting some promises, there are some delays, and then the money comes in. When we look at the rulers of your 11th house, we're looking at both Uranus, which is ruled by Aquarius, and also that Saturn. While neither of them are making an aspect to the Venus, the ruler of the second, we do have the ruler of the 11th house in your second house, and we're going to be having that for for actually a couple of years. So you do have an ability to make money that is derived from career, but accumulation of money this month is challenging, which means you're possibly spending a little bit more than you're getting, or you're spending exactly what you're getting. Okay, so now we've rotated the chart and we're looking at Taurus and what's happening with your money. And I know that as I rotate the chart, like all the planets are going to turn, so I don't know if this is going to be the best way to do this. I mean, this is the way I do it when I print it out. I just turn the chart, but it might be visually a little too weird, and so I may have to just rerun the charts. So I don't know yet. But let's just try it this way because we'll give it a try. So anyway, here's your money house ruled by that Mercury up here in your 11th house, because what was the 10th is now the 11th. This is going to be hard. But trust me, this is this is correct. And what this does say is majority of money does come from some sort of job or career. There is a focus on getting your hourly work done, maybe your contract with somebody. And so especially if you're able to pick up more hours or things like that, that's a really good way for you to make money. So then when we look at your investments here and passive income sources, also money derived from business or a relationship, here it's ruled by the Jupiter up here in your 9th house. This can mean that you can make some passive income from social media, from writing and publishing, from teaching. Maybe you're doing some online teaching and things like that. This does say that there may be some sort of agreement or contract to make some more money through your business, or maybe in connection with your spouse. And then, as we already mentioned here, you have your money derived from career. You have the Mercury there, which is the ruler of your second house, which is fantastic. You also have the ruler of your 11th in the 11th house. You're going to have that for a very long time because it's Neptune. It moves really, really slowly. It is co-ruled by that Jupiter there in the 9th house. And so of these two, we have you maybe taking some sort of certification test for your job, or doing some training for your job. We do, though, have basically, the Neptune in Pisces says that something's not as concrete, that there is money there, but it's not as certain or sure. So there may be that little underlying insecurity. The Jupiter in Capricorn is far more of a sense of groundedness. However, when Jupiter next year gets into Aquarius and you're doing that pair, then you probably want to have multiple income streams when we get to that point. But that's 2021, so we'll think about that in future videos. In the meantime, consider that open communications and really getting your projects done and letting people know that your project is done, because the Neptune in Pisces can be extremely vague, whereas that Jupiter in Capricorn can be so concrete. So, let people know, I turned in my project, did you receive it? Especially if you don't receive some sort of email response from them. Now, when we look at the relationship that we have with your money, we have no aspect between the Mercury and the Jupiter, and no aspect between Mercury and Neptune. And this indicates that accumulation of money is challenging this month. It's going to take some conscious effort. So, because otherwise the money is coming in, but it's going right out. Yeah, turning this chart is getting too crazy. I'm going to have to stop and switch out the chart so that it's much easier for you to see. Okay, so now I've got the chart up again and I've rotated the house cusp, and so now it's much, much easier to read. Okay, yay. All right, so what we have here for Gemini natives is your second house. We have North Node there for a little while longer. North Node, of course, goes primarily backwards, so it will be going into Gemini pretty soon. I should check that right now. I'm going to. I got my paper, so let me check that. Okay, where did I put the North Node? I have to look on the right side. That is going to be in May. Okay, so in May, the North Node is going to leave your second house. While the North Node is in your second house, there is a focus that making money is your life path, that is your chosen path, and so that you want to put as much focus into this as possible during these last couple months. Sorry, I was knocking over my bottle. You've had this happening now for almost, 1 year and 4 months. No, 6 months. 1 year and 6 months. And so, but yes, I do know that you probably think, oh my gosh, Donna, I have not been able to accomplish much in that time. And that's true, because this is a learning, growing experience. And so it's like you're trying to trudge up a mountain. It feels like you're not getting very far. But actually, when this leaves that house, you are going to find that you've made more progress than you know. So right now, just focus on trudging up the mountain, because that's where the money's going to be. All right, so we are looking at Cancer here, ruled by that new moon in the 11th house. So money is very focused on your career and the company that you work for. The Cancer energy here with the new moon says that maybe you're having a new beginning. That is that perhaps this is a new job for you, but also it could be that you have a new experience going on with all the craziness in the world right now, that perhaps you're looking to yourself and saying, now with the moon in Aries, maybe what I should be doing is my own business. And so this might be that you're picking up independent contractor work along with your job. The Sun conjunct Moon does say that there are some good opportunities for you. If you want a new job, you can have it. New sources of income are quite possible. Now, when we look at your 8th house of money derived from other people, business, royalties, residuals, investments, etc., of course, you've had a lot of things going through this house for a long time. This could be quite the focus in your life, that desire to find really stable sources of passive income. You've had Mars going through there now for a few weeks, and Mars is getting ready to leave that house. Mars is your ability to take action, and so you want to take massive action. Let me check. See how long you have. Mars. So by April 3rd, Mars is already out of that house. In fact, it's even sooner than that. I need a different book. Okay, so I have the book, and let's find the exact date as quickly as humanly possible. Okay, so Mars, it looks like around March 30th, it is hitting Aquarius and leaving your house. So you just have about, 2 weeks, and then you have an entirely different focus. So that's, doesn't mean, because you're still going to have Jupiter there, you're still going to have Pluto there. That's fantastic. I should have taken out all that other stuff. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that another time. But this is the planet of action, where you really need to focus your actions and get things done. When we are looking at money from your career, of course, the sun and moon says that's where your main focus is. So you probably have a job that you're working very hard at. And even if you own a business, you're working side by side with the employees, really focused on getting some things done. So this is good energy here. Yes, there's the Chiron there. Chiron's going to be there for a long, long time. That is healing some issues you have with working for somebody else and for finding employment and things like that. So, but let's check our ability to accumulate money for Gemini natives, and that is where we're checking the relationship between the moon and Saturn. And yippee, we have a sextile, so you have the ability to accumulate money this month through income sources, like passive income sources and having your own business. When we look at the relationship between your income and money from your career, we do not have an aspect. So you may find that the money that's coming in is going right out again, and it's very difficult to get ahead this month. And so you have to use things like automatic deposit or hide money from yourself if you want to really, save some money this month. Okay, so for Cancer natives, we are looking at your finances here, and we have Leo on the second house, ruled by the sun, right up at the top of your chart. And that bodes well if you're looking for a job or you want to do well in your job. That means that you have opportunities to shine, to get a promotion, to get a new position. So very, very good placement for you for this month. Then when we look at your money from business or investments, we have the Saturn, which you're going to be doing for a long, long time, so don't let it worry you. Saturn is a slow growth wealth aspect, and that means that you are right now just planting the seeds for creating money. So you may be looking at your investments and think, oh, this is pitiful, this is awful, but you have to look at the very long term, because Saturn is slow growth. So keep that in mind as you are going over your business numbers or your investment numbers. Now, when we look at money derived from career, oh my goodness, that's just I'm sorry, I can't even handle that. That was so terrible. Let's do it that way. Okay, when we're looking at your money derived from career, so we have Uranus and Venus in there. Uranus is going to be there for a long, long time, which means that the money that you get from your career is going to vary for some reason. Perhaps you're on a commission schedule, or perhaps there are changes in the company. The Venus here does indicate that a bonus is possible, or some extra income, perhaps from working some overtime, is happening. So that's really good. That's going to be going on for the next few weeks. Now, let's check to see how the relationship between your second, I don't need that planet, I need this planet, how the relationship between your second house ruler and your 8th house ruler is doing. And so, of course, that would be Uranus And so we have a semi-sextile with Uranus. So you actually have an ability to accumulate money during this period through your investments. We also have the nice sextile here with the co-ruler of your 8th house. So fantastic. You do show opportunities to accumulate some money. That's wonderful. And then when we check to see how money from career is happening, that would be the Venus. And we do not have that opportunity to accumulate. What we have is the money is coming in and the money is immediately going out. And so you need to do some little tricks to get yourself to save. That could be that you're hiding money from yourself, that you're putting money into cash. I saw a guy at the bank and he was getting everything, all his money in $2 bills because he says he never spends $2 bills. I thought that was a very unique way to do that. So find a way that you can force yourself to save money because it's not going to be automatic this month. Okay, so for Leo natives, you are doing, of course, that we're looking for Mercury, which now is direct and it's in your house of money that comes from other people. That is your opportunities to make money through passive income sources, your business, your spouse, or family members or things like that. So that is a very good placement for you this month. When we look at your investment income here, so we do, as I just said, we have the Mercury there, which does mean that money is coming in from multiple sources. You're always going to have Pisces there, so don't get concerned when you see the Pisces. I know the Pisces feels vague, but what it does is it breaks down the barriers between you and other people's money. That means that you do have opportunities to get bank loans, to do consolidate your bills or things like that this month. It is co-ruled. I lost my cursor. Here it is. It's co-ruled by Jupiter in Capricorn in your 6th house, which is indicating that the harder you work, the more money you make, which is odd with a passive income source, but you do have to set everything up. So even though it's a passive income source, it's still apparently making you work really, really hard. When we look at your money derived from your career, again, we are looking at Mercury, which is direct, and now it's moved into a money house. So you do have opportunities if you're, currently with your job, but also if you want to bring up a second form of income, or if you want to find ways to, branch out and make commissions or things like that. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. Yes, I'm trying to go fast. So I have Tai Chi class in 30 minutes. So I'm trying to get this done fast so then I can move really, really slowly. So see, that's the plan. All right, what am I doing? I am doing the relationship, your ability to accumulate money. We're looking at Mercury with Neptune. Here's your Neptune. We have no relationship there, and we have no relationship with the Jupiter. Okay, so we're looking at how you are accumulating money, or if you're accumulating money this month. And when it comes to your passive income sources, that is a no, because we don't have a relationship between the ruler of the 2nd and the ruler of the 8th. It means that you are more likely to have money come in and immediately reinvest it or spend it on something. But the good news is that when you are making money from your career, we are looking at Mercury. And so those of you who are Leo rising, or I should say, when you're a Leo, you tend to accumulate money anyway. You tend to put money aside. And so unless your chart really, really is just focuses on spending, you do have more of an ability than most signs to accumulate money, because both the ruler of your 2nd and the ruler of your 11th house are the same planet. And again, that's all mitigated by the fact that this is just very general. This is your sun sign. I would love to look at your chart. I do readings, so let me know if you want me to look at your personal finance. Okay, getting a little better at that. So Here we are for Virgo or Virgo rising or Virgo moon. Check all of these. We are looking at your house of money, which is Venus. Here's Venus up here in your 9th house. So money is directly related to things that you're putting out into the world through publishing. So that is social media, connecting with people through LinkedIn, or maybe you're doing some writing or some teaching or things like that. It does say, because Venus is so elevated in the chart, as you put yourself forward, you're going to make more money. So that is all good. That is all good. When we look at your money from your business or derived from your investments, also really good. The new moon is in that house. That means that new sources of income are possible, that you might have had a business for a while, but now you've gotten this great new customer or in some new territory. Perhaps you have a new product you're launching. And additionally, this can mean new investments that fall into your lap. There is going to be so many buying opportunities. So for those people who have the cash to do it. And then when we look at your money from your career, oh my goodness, I have to work on my drawing skills. So when we look at your money derived from career, what we have is the North Node, which is going to be there for just a little while longer. I know I checked this earlier. Let's check it again. So North Node is leaving around end of April, early May. And so that means that it's going to be a little bit easier at that point to have money come in from your career. However, this does say that your focus is there of how you can make more money. Maybe you should apply somewhere else. Maybe you should apply within your company. Maybe you should transfer to another department or do something where you're more noticed. And then let's take a look at how you can accumulate money this month. So we have Venus here, and we are looking for its relationship with Mars for money derived from your business or investments or things like that. And woohoo, we have a trine. You have a very strong ability to accumulate money. There goes my camera again. I don't know what to do about that. Okay, so so then we have a very strong ability to accumulate money through passive income sources and all that. The Venus up in the 9th house says there might be a contract that you want to do, that you want to reach out to people who are willing to take some risks, right? 5th house, risk taking, so consider doing that. When we are looking at Venus's relationship to the ruler of the 11th house, we see no relationship happening there. And so money coming in from your job is just going straight out again. You need to, hide some money from yourself or have some automatic deposit into your checking account and then automatically go into your savings account just to make it a little bit harder for you to reach, which will make it a little easier for you to save. Okay, so here is for Libra, and what we have here, of course, is Scorpio. This is co-ruled by Pluto and Mars, which just happen to be conjunct in your 4th house, and that can mean that a source of income is through real estate or you're working at home, but it also does say that you're very focused on making money. Even if you go out to a job, you are extremely focused on caring for your home, your family, and all of that, and that means making money. So we see with that Mars, with the Pluto behind it, that you're like a rocket ship, just very, very focused, or maybe like a freight train, because that is just, you're not going to turn, you're not going to blink, you're just going to go for it. So very, very good to have that focus this month. When we look at your investments, we do see that Uranus up there, which does say that your investments are going through a wild ride. That's not a surprise. The Uranus is going to be there, though, for a very long time. So it's really good for you to look at ways that you can more automate the system, where you take some of your emotional decisions out of there. The Venus also there does indicate that there is something making you happy about your investments. Maybe you did do some contrarian investments and so they're really working out, or that you're seeing that prices are going down and you're able to snap up things rather cheaply. When it comes to your money derived from career, this is related directly with the sun here in your 7th house and the new moon. That means go meet new people. New people are going to bring you new income sources. So you want to reach out to people through LinkedIn, through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, however you can. Like go DM people, go find people that you can connect with and find how you can work together. This is a sun-moon connection, so find people who you're going to make them shine. I'm doing damage here, it's like, and LaRue is sleeping through the whole thing. I thought he was going to make a cameo, but no. So, all right, let's check for Libras how the accumulation of money is happening. And so we're looking at this. Normally we would look at Pluto and Saturn separately, but they're conjunct together. So we're looking at those. And when we look at money derived from career, we are making a lovely trine to the ruler of the 8th. That's the Venus. And so when it comes to your business or your investments or how your spouse is making money or royalties, residuals, all of that, you are able to accumulate money that's making more money than you need, or at least more money than you're spending. And then when we look at the relationship between your job, nope, the money is coming in, it's immediately going out. You are very much on even keel. It's very, very hard to accumulate money unless you do some special things like hiding money from yourself or doing some sort of automatic deposit into an account you can't reach. For Scorpio natives, right, yes, we would be looking for Jupiter. And Jupiter is in your house of communication. This is an aspect I see with a lot of business owners and CEOs. This means the more communication you do, the more money you make. Now, Jupiter is in Capricorn, which is a very practical sign. It's going to be there for the rest of the year and then go into wild and crazy Aquarius. So right now, this is really putting your back into it, getting the things done. That is that every single day for your money, for your business, that you're sticking to your budget, that you're really focused on making every dollar work for you. Now, when we look at your investments, we are looking for Mercury, and Mercury is now direct, and it is in Pisces here in that area of risk-taking, and Pisces tends to maybe not be so aware of risks because there's no boundary between you and the entire universe. And so you do need to be a little bit cautious because you may be throwing caution to the wind when it comes to your investments. You may have be completely fearless and ready to jump into anything. And this says, be careful. So this is that you can make some investments, but you want to be cautious, especially when it comes to things that you're not so familiar with, because while you might be using your intuition with the Pisces there, you could be very much swayed by what the crowd is doing, because like I said, there is no boundary between you and other people in the world. Now, when we look at your money derived from career, same thing happens. We are going straight down to that Mercury again. And so you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to worry about my career. I'm not going to look at what the company's doing. I'm not going to look at long-term changes because I know I'm going to be fine. But this is a time where you should be focused on what's actually going on in the company. Where Pisces can be vague, it can also be laser focused and very, very aware of not just what's happening right now, but what's happening 10 years from now, or what's happening in between. So use your now intuitive ability in this area. Sit down, do a meditation, and see where's your company going to be 6 months from now, where's it going to be 5 years from now, and see if you need to make a pivot. Now, when we look at your ability to accumulate money, we are looking at the relationship that Jupiter is having with the Mercury, because Mercury rules both your 8th house and your 11th house, and we're not seeing that aspect right now. That means that when you're making money, you're immediately reinvesting it. When you get a paycheck, you're immediately spending it. It is very important that you find a way to hide some money from yourself or make the spending be you putting money into a savings account, because otherwise you're not accumulating money this month. And what we're seeing here for your money is that, of course, you've had tons and tons of planets going through here, so much potential for you to make true wealth right now. But yes, it's a lot of planets, so it can be really challenging. Now, you do have Mars going through your second house. That gives you the ability to take massive action, to plant seeds. That Mars is going to be leaving there pretty soon. Let's check. I think I checked this already once, and now what am I seeing? Mars in Capricorn. Why am I not seeing this? Oh yeah, so it is finishing up at the end of this month. I think it's the 30th. So you only have 2 weeks left of really having that Mars push behind you to take the massive action. So you really want to, like if you have a list of things to do, especially if they're about contacting other people and connecting, then you want to do that part very, very soon. And yes, I know my phone is ringing and all of that. We're gonna have to ignore that for a second. Okay, so let's see how your passive income sources are doing. And you are doing the North Node there, which means you are learning and growing when it comes to passive income sources. Maybe you're learning how to do a business, or maybe you're doing investments. Maybe you and your spouse are doing something. North Node is going to go out of that house pretty soon too. That is oh yeah, I was looking at this earlier. So that's around the beginning of May, where you are going to have North Node out of that house, which actually is going to be a little bit of a relief because you go from the extreme learning place to actually more of a doing place. So if you are studying about investments, you only have a couple months left where you are going to really feel the focus on that. You can start doing now, that is fine, but use some caution because you are still learning. Now, the money that is coming from your career is represented by Venus in the 6th house. This is very much about the more work you do, the more money you have. There's a direct correlation. It shows when you're not working, you're not receiving money. That's really a drag. That's why probably you're studying so hard about the passive income sources, so that you can get out of this sort of loop that you're in. So, but let's see how you're accumulating money. So we're looking at the relationship here between Saturn and the moon. Sorry, lost my head there. Saturn and the moon for passive income sources. So you do show ability to accumulate money because you're doing the sextile. So you're showing this opportunity to accumulate money through passive income sources. Fantastic. When it comes to money derived from career, however, you are doing no aspect between the ruler of the 2nd and the ruler of the 11th, which means that money is coming in, money is directly going out. It's very hard to accumulate. I would suggest you do some sort of automatic deposit into a savings account, or get some cash, hide it under the mattress. Do anything you can to accumulate. This aspect will be better in future months, but this month you have some challenges. For those of you Capricorn natives, you are now experiencing Saturn in your 2nd house for the first time in 28 to 29 years. So it might be a little bit of a shock. Saturn is going to go retrograde and back out of your 2nd house briefly, and that might give you the idea that everything's okay, but it's not. This does indicate that new sources of income need to be found, and that you have enormous possibilities for going in different directions, especially through technology, through friendships, organizations, anything that is Aquarius, even astrology. So you can find other sources of income. Also recognize that Saturn is a slow growth wealth aspect, and so that means that because Saturn is going through your 2nd house and will be for about 2.5 years, that you will have many opportunities to create wealth. Now, during the process, you may not feel like you're getting wealthy, but when you get to the end of it and Saturn goes into Pisces, you're going to look around and go, oh, I did do something. Wow, I do have money. So it's going to feel better, but in the process, it's going to feel bad. And so it is like if you're running a marathon, this is the time where you're working out every single day. It's cold, it's raining, and you're still running 26 miles a day. It hurts, and that is what you're experiencing now, but it comes with a big payoff in the end. Now, when we look at how your money is, oh, I should have talked about this. Sorry. Your money is actually ruled by the Uranus. It is co-ruled by that Saturn. Here's Uranus way over here in your area of risk-taking. Is that the worst looking arrow I have ever seen in my life? Okay, so that does mean that you're a bit fearless when it comes to risk-taking. You want to take the risks. You want to do something that maybe is a little bit of a gamble outside your norm, and that's okay. Just recognize that now that Saturn's there, that you have to do it in the most conservative way you can. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but what you want to consider doing is to invest, but you do most of the work. Like if you have the choice of buying something or hiring somebody, consider if you could do it yourself. When we look at your investments, what we have is there is a lot of interest here in real estate. Maybe you're buying a house, maybe you are doing a business out of the house, maybe you're doing some Airbnb, but we have a strong connection to that. We also have a strong connection to family, and that is to get with other family members and create a business or passive income source. And so there might be a lot of discussion there. And this is a new moon, so this could be a new thing that you're doing that you haven't talked about before, or you're bringing it up again because you talked about it in a previous year. And when we look at your money that comes from your job, we are looking at both Pluto and the co-ruler Mars, which just happen to be conjunct right now. Good grief, I need to take a drawing class, seriously. Okay. It's a little bit better. Okay, so we have those things in the first house. That means that your income from career is directly related to yourself, and what you're doing is when you say your name, when you stand up at the meeting, when you put your name on the project, that's when you're going to be successful. The Mars is in your first house for a couple more weeks, and that gives you a lot of oomph, a lot of ability to take massive action. So if you're looking for a new job, you've got about 2 weeks of sending out resumes and all that, and then the bounty will start to come in. All right, and then let's check to see your ability to accumulate money. So, of course, we are looking both at Saturn and Uranus. We'll look at, because they're almost the same degree, we can look at just the Uranus here. We're looking at the relationship Uranus has with the Sun, which is the ruler of the 8th house. We have the semi-sextile. I know that you might feel like, oh, a semi-sextile, that's not a good aspect, but it is an aspect, and that means accumulation is possible. So when it comes to money from passive income sources, royalties, residuals, all of that, commissions and things like that, you can accumulate money. That means you'll be receiving more money than is going out, which is fantastic. So, and when we look, though, at your ability to make money through okay, I was trying to draw and talk. When we look at money derived from career, we're not seeing an aspect between the Uranus and the Mars-Pluto. However, we do have a conjunction here with the Saturn. So you have the ability to accumulate money even in your job. And I have not said that to many signs this month. And so you want to look at what additional money you can make. Maybe you're working extra hours, maybe you have a second job, maybe you are getting a commission or bonus check, and therefore you are making additional money this month. Maybe you're just being really, really frugal. That's also a possibility. Okay, so for Aquarius natives, you of course have your second house with both Mercury and Neptune in it. Neptune's going to be there for a long, long time, and so that is not so much the concern, even though Neptune is the ruler. Jupiter is also a co-ruler of that house. You do have Mercury there. Mercury's now direct. It's in Pisces, and this says if we are looking at your money, we want to add a little magic to it. We want to add a spiritual component. That means prayer, meditation, affirmations, visualization, all of those things. Also, looking at ways that you can remove blocks, because as I just said, the co-ruler, lost my cursor, there it is. The co-ruler is in your 12th house. If you can remove those hidden blocks, maybe through tapping or EMDR or hypnosis or something like that, you can, like a rocket ship, move forward on your finances. But right now, hidden blocks can be slowing things down. Now, when we look at your investments, what do we have? We have that ruled by that Mercury in Pisces. Again, we're looking at you doing things from a more spiritual place. nice, but also there's a warning here because there is no boundaries when you're doing Pisces energy, and that means that you could be easily swayed by the crowd. So everybody might be selling off their stocks, and so then you feel carried by that wave to sell off your stocks too, when deep down you know that it is time to hold, or maybe it's even time to buy. So it is something where you have to use your awareness as much as your intuition and not let those two things, not get carried away by other people's emotions, but to recognize when it is your higher self and your own knowledge that's giving you the answer versus the masses. When we look at your money derived from your career, it is ruled by the Jupiter, which of course, you know, co-rules your second house. This is really good, except for the fact that Jupiter is in your 12th. And while Jupiter in the 12th is physically protecting, it is not necessarily protecting your income. So it can say that the money from your career seems invisible. Perhaps your company has put your paycheck on hold. Maybe you're on a leave of absence. Maybe you're not able to get to work right now. And so it is very important for you to look for additional sources of income and be quite conservative, which the Jupiter in Capricorn says that it can be, so that you can get through this period. Now, when we look at your ability to accumulate money, we're looking at Neptune in relation to Mercury. And I just drew over the Mercury. Oh my gosh, that means I am supposed to be getting ready to go to Tai Chi, and I have one more sign to do, but I'm gonna do it. So when we look at the relationship between Neptune and Mercury, we have no aspect. And when we look at bringing Jupiter in here, we have no aspect. That means that your ability to accumulate money through passive income sources is not strong this month. You are maybe making money but reinvesting it immediately, or you are not making as much money as you want, and so you're basically you don't feel like you have any extra, is what I'm trying to say. That was a long way of saying that. So, but when it comes to money derived from career, even though I said it's invisible, that money is somehow coming to you because we have the sextile energy, and that means that maybe they are storing it up and giving it to you in a chunk. Maybe it is coming from a different source. So, but there is money going to come to you. It's just maybe not coming to you as easily as usual. You know, so something is happening that is making it a little bit more unexpected, but it does show up at your door, and it shows up in an amount that there is a sense of accumulation. So to me, it feels like that you're getting a bigger check, but maybe not the regular check. So maybe it's just coming to you as a chunk for some reason. Okay, Pisces. Oh, let me make that a little. Okay, I don't have time to fool with it. I'm still fooling with it. Okay. All right, for Pisces natives, of course, let's just talk about what's in the house first. You are having the new moon in your second house. That means new sources of money are possible this month. This is your best month of the year for creating new sources of income. That could be a new job, new business, new opportunities for passive income sources, new investments, and things like that. So you really want to capitalize on that. This sun and moon pull money from your 6th house and your 5th house. I did that backwards, but 5th house and 6th house, that's creative work, caring for children, connected with children, but also 6th house, that is just work in general, working in an office, doing the detail work and things like that. Those are your sources of money. Also working out, health things, health related stuff. And 5th house for things that are fun. I know I'm all over the place trying to get this all wrapped up here. So, all right, so your money is ruled by Mars, which is conjunct Pluto in your 11th house. A really good sign for your money this month, because this means that not only do you have Pluto, power of Pluto and the focus of Pluto backing your Mars, but in addition, it's in a money house. So you have a very good chance of getting a new job or getting a raise, getting a bonus, getting something that is connected with a company that will bring you more money. So this could be a sizable commission check. Now, when we look at your investments, we are looking at Venus here in the 3rd house. This means you should be studying and collecting information. Maybe you're calling people who know more about these things. You might be looking at the stock market or other investments, looking at real estate, but you're going through contracts and agreements and things like that. Now, when we look at your 11th house, which is money derived from career, you of course have a full house. You've had a full house for a while. Now you have Mars for 2 more weeks in that house, giving you the ability to take massive action when it comes to creating money through your career. So that means a really big push to get commissions. You can also do a push to get a new job. It's quite possible you'll get a job interview or a job offer even. So lots and lots of energy there. Now, when we look at the accumulation of your money, I don't need that line there, we are looking at how Mars is going to interact with Venus, and you are making the trine. That means when it comes to your investments, you are making more money than usual. You have the ability to accumulate. That might be that you're reinvesting, but you are able to pocket some, so really good aspect. This is a trine, so it's going to feel a little bit automatic. That means it may not be this gigantic, woo, oh my gosh, over the top amount, but it's there and it can be very beneficial for you. Now, when we look at your relationship here, I did that again. I don't need that. I need this. I am looking at this planet here, Mars, because it rules the 2nd house and its relationship to Saturn. So I'm just going to group these two together because they are conjunct. You have a great ability to accumulate money through your career. Now, this means that your company, maybe one company is still paying you and then you start the other company. Maybe you have a second job and just things are blowing up, but you have abilities this month to make a lot of money. So don't sleep through this. Don't get all stressed about things. Instead, focus on the money. Where can you get more money? Ask yourself every morning, how can I get more money? That is going to be answered by these planets that are showing you you can accumulate money. And that's it. Oh my gosh, I have like 3 minutes to get dressed and get to Tai Chi, so I'm gonna go do this. I want you guys to have an amazing day. Remember, ask me any questions that you have through email or in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.